like I said, I love 90s R&B, 90s movies, 90s fashion. I'm a 90s girl. I'm a 90s girl. Born in the 90s. So, yeah, Rugrats. Like, really, I love 90s. I love the 90s. It was and it's like, I feel like it's easy to love an era that you didn't grow up in. Because there's probably people that hate the 90s. It's probably people that hate the 90s.
I don't know. The 90s was lit, G. I can't. If you hate the 90s, I feel like...
What if it's people out there that's like, I hate the 90s. It was the worst like era ever. I couldn't wait for...
Damn.
I'm trying to think,
like maybe gang culture or something. Like what would make a nigga hate the 90s?
I don't know. I don't know. But
that shit was overly busting. Family was busting. The colors and like you said,
the
busting? Aesthetic.
Was it busting?
I don't know. I know my family was busting.
Where y'all watching from? What city y'all in? But
outside.
Yeah. I feel like I think about the 90s and I think about all of the stuff that, like, again, I feel like we romanticize at the 90s. I feel like that's why it's easy to, like, appreciate it. We didn't grow up in the 90s. Like I said, it was probably a terrible time. We don't know for real. All we know is what we perceived to be happening at the time. We were just born. Like, we were kids.
Facts.
Like, what if it was a terrible time? Like, it's probably people that was like, no, the 80s was like,
I
don't know. People say crack.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
everybody was lit on crack.
The 90s was busting. I don't get no fuck.
Oh, man. Okay, we finna get right into today's episode of Skinamax. I'm gonna do my intro first. Sure. Okay, cool. So, we're back for another episode of Skinamax. And we're talking about the wood today. And... in the last episode, we said that we was bringing snacks. So, I brought some snacks. I brought some popcorn. But this is like movie popcorn.
Okay.
Like, it literally says movie theater popcorn.
Thanks. Okay.
Do you pronounce this Vintners? I've never had to pronounce this.
I call it Vintners. Yeah, I don't know if that's right, but
that's what
I call it. Vintners.
Vintners. Yeah, like I feel like there's probably no other way to pronounce it.
Say that shit.
But yeah, I got some popcorn. I brought some popcorn. I brought some butter cookies.
Them the ones.
I like cookies. I'm a cookie. I like eating cookies. I brought Snickers. I brought the thing that got two. Yeah, because I don't always eat the Snicker, even when it's the small size. That's why I get the one that got 2 pieces in it.
Facts.
So that this is how much I'm actually gonna eat. Like I like chocolate, but not like too much. Not too much. But I brought Flamin' Hots because hot and chocolate, Flamin' Hots with chocolate, it's not crazy. Next time I'm gonna bring like some chocolate chip cookies because I eat chocolate chip cookies and Flamin' Hots at the same time. It's something about and again, it's probably my Mexican side coming out, but
spicy chica.
But it's the hot and the chocolate is really good together. And then I brought some honey barbecue twists. These is fire. Yeah,
you snapped.
Yeah. What snacks you bring?
I bought water.
You brought water? Water is good. Yeah. Hydration is important. That's important.
Fruit snacks. Bought a bunch of fruit snacks.
You got some fruit snacks? I love fruit snacks.
These is Welch's.
Yeah, like... And
then I got chips.
Okay, cool. Period. We both got some barbecue chips. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, let's get right into the movie, The Wood. What is the plot? Like, it's another coming of age story.
Yeah. Coming of age, I feel like this is told from 3 young boys' perspective. Well, men at the time that they telling it, but they're going back into what brought them kind of to the men that they are.
Right.
And so, and kind of building it talks, it's a comedy, talk about relationships, piece of sex in there. Mm-hmm. But I feel like we discussed, I won't say the entire movie was about sex.
The entire movie is about sex.
Yeah.
The entire movie is about some horny teenagers. Yeah. The movie The Wood is about 3 horny...
appropriately named.
Yes, The Wood. But they're like, oh, we're from Inglewood, California. Yeah. Like, no, this is about 3 horny teenage boys that have to figure out how to basically separate their dick from their, like, commit... Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, their ideas of relationships and what commitment is, right? Facts. And it's super interesting. First, it's a funny movie. It's a funny movie because the whole movie is about them running away from commitment as kids, and then even like to an extent as adults, and they had to work through that. And I don't know. Do you struggle? Do you feel like as a man, do you struggle with the idea of commitment?
I can't say that I do. I've been getting my hair cut from the same nigga since I was 13.
You ain't cheating on your barber.
You know what I'm saying? You
don't cheat on your barber.
I'm very much so committed. I think that as a man, probably I do, where I don't feel a immediate reciprocal exchange. I'm probably not gonna commit. But and in a space, my barber laced me every time since 13. He's not fucked my hair up. Yeah. So I can go to you every time. In a space where it's people involved. Gets a little sticky.
Right. That makes sense. So, okay. So again, the movie's about 3 teenagers. They meet when they like 13, 14. Yeah. Right. In the movie, there are like 3 settings for the movie. The age of 14 when they in like 8th grade. Then you have when they're juniors in high school, they like 17. And then you have when they like 26, 27. And the reason that I come to that conclusion is because Mike talks about how he's known Roland and Slim. So the 3 main characters, Mike, Roland, and Slim. Mike talks about how he's known them for 13, 14 years. Yeah. And he was new to the school. So it's like, duh, they got to be like 27.
Yeah, on me.
So that's cool. Like, all right, cool. So they're showing us, and again, but they're all like, all 3 of those ages are technically young. People make it seem, this is what I don't like about the 90s. They made it seem like 30 was old.
Facts.
I'm 30.
But I don't care what nobody say. The grown-ups from the 90s is different from the grown-ups of today. Like, them niggas, bro, you not finna give it to me like that. Like, they was old as hell back then. What? I don't know if it was responsibilities that made niggas old. We some childish
ass adults.
Part.
The people that were born in the 90s that are now like, we in our 30s, our late 20s. God because what? I think the youngest person from the 90s is what? And they still late to mid, like, 20s. Yeah, they like 27, like 26 or whatever. They still in their mid 20s. Like
28, 29.
Yeah, so like, we childish. We're the new adults. That's crazy to me. I was born in 90. So like, I'm the oldest of us. And 90s, I am not the most mature. Yeah. Especially under certain circumstances. I can't really take anything serious. But I also think that makes us, because we're so childish, I don't think we're going to. It's going to take a long time before we get like grown. I think it's going to take so 30 is not 30 no more.
It's not.
30 not 30.
It's like how money is. How money used to be longer back in the day. $100,000 back then used to hit different.
Yeah, like the people that was born in the 70s and the 80s, they was grown as fuck at 23. We were not. Like, we was some grown ass kids. Yeah, so we're grown ass kids now, shall I say. So that's been so back to the movie The Wood. Like, so the plot is, again, Mike, Roland, and so Roland is about to get married. And Roland, out of the 3 friends, was like the most like player, Mac Daddy. I'm a pimp. Like, I'm using their terminology. I'm Macking and hanging. Right? So like, Roland is supposed to be like he's the womanizer, right? He's the pretty boy. That's his character, right? All 3 of them is like, all right, we chasing. They just, it's a cat and dog game. Like, they trying to get bets to it. And shit. They made bets on everything throughout the whole thing. So it's this theme of male competitiveness and preying on women, because that's what it was. They was hunting. So
is it safe to say that all of them had maybe a hunter kink, like a primal hunter kink, possibly?
I don't think Mike did. I think he got pushed into it.
Okay.
I think he got pushed into it. I could very much see Slim and Roland having that kind of hunter's mentality, but then also we got to keep in mind that Mike was from the South.
Facts.
So that somehow played into like his personality. He was just trying to fit in.
Facts on me.
So he was definitely, I feel like Mike was probably the most romantic, vanilla. Like I think Mike was probably super vanilla. Like
Facts.
I could see that.
I could see that.
But yeah, so we talked about the characters, we talk about the plot. There's not really any, like, again, even though the whole movie is like sexual undertones, right? From the beginning where they like, I bet you won't grab a booty.
On me, yeah.
Now, they talked about how like, all right, cool, before sex, it was grabbing booties. Like, I remember being 12, 13, right? Now, it wasn't about grabbing my booty necessarily because I've always been small. I didn't really have no butt.
Right.
But I started growing breast at the age of 9.
Damn.
I was like, in 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, bras. I'm wearing bras. Popping bras. So guys little boys used to run up behind me and pop my bra, and now we fighting. Yeah. So the way he ran up on her and grabbed her booty while she was playing rope, I've been in that situation where a boy will run up behind, like he'll run up behind me, pop my bra, and run off. So now I'm chasing him down the street. We, fighting or whatever.
That was just for a nigga to get more feels. Put them titties on me. Like,
that is hilarious.
Yeah, like
that's
the science. Like,
that is
crazy. Yeah, it's boy math.
But also, I think that again, in my current mindset, it's super interesting how we socialize young boys early on to engage in. First of all, this is non-consensual as fuck. So it's problematic. Yeah. It's extremely problematic. Yeah. While, of course, when this movie came out, it was very entertaining. It's still very problematic because you shouldn't be touching nobody if they don't consent to that. Right. So that was like, again, I'm trying to like, you can't think of this from, what I'm saying? It's like, but I cannot unknow what I know in terms of like, what is appropriate and not appropriate. And it's damn sure not appropriate to be sexualizing 13, 14-year-olds.
Facts.
And even, when he got hard in the classroom, he standing up there. Have you ever been in that situation where you got hard in the classroom? And that's what I was about
to say, yeah. Like, I don't know that because I ain't gonna stunt. And thinking about it from, I guess, I won't necessarily say the opposite spectrum. I'm gonna open up my popcorn. The opposite perspective.
Look, smell that. You smell the butter?
Talking about, it's giving real movie. But being in that situation where you a young boy, like developing in your hormones, and whereas I think not even so much the idea of sexualizing the girls, it was all like, for whatever reason, and not even for whatever reason, because we know women have always been the prize. Like, I remember being the little boy in the classroom who it was like, oh man, the girls like me, woo woo woo, blah blah blah. And so in a space where growing up and that's something to be championed, in regards to that feminine attention, girl, whatever, like it starts a young man's ego early, so to speak. And so transferring it into a sexual nature, because even in that regard, I remember being a little boy who was grabbing butts. My shit was consensual though, because again, I had the little ladies, you feel me?
But your mama taught you shit
even
early too.
know facts, but you don't even. So I'm gonna say this: I was grabbing butts and touching, pulling bras and all that shit in 7th and 8th grade. Boy, I was damn near scared to fuck at that age. I didn't know what to do with a dick. Like, what?
I didn't know what to do.
Like, what?
I just pee with this.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I just pee with this.
We supposed to share it? Like,
we supposed to share it. It's crazy.
What?
Oh my God.
So, I don't.
But I definitely, I feel you. I feel you. So again, me saying like, oh, it's inappropriate, it's coming from my 33-year-old mind who understands consent and non-consent and appropriate, non-appropriate touch. Going back to my 13, 14-year-old state of mind, not understanding that it's problematic. I know that the movie was filmed in a way that it's supposed to make you go back in time. It's supposed to give you this feeling of nostalgia so that you can be like, oh, I remember when I was a teenager. I remember when I was a preteen and my hormones are all over the damn place and I'm trying to make sense of the world. I get that. Still.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Keep your hands to your fucking self. And teach but also I think our generation is gonna be the first generation to start teaching our kids more about consensual and non-consensual touch. You know what I'm saying? Because we did normalize, and that's why I said the 90s probably wasn't that good of an era. The 90s and the 80s probably wasn't as good as we make it seem, because we have romanticized and normalized a lot of toxic behavior. And I think our generation, the most childish, is going to be the generation that kind of like works through all of that. Like we going to therapy, we figuring out like, all right, cool, this was not okay. Let's make sure we don't inflict this same kind of...
You seen Fences? The only reason I say that is because think about a bitch being grown up that time. I feel like the 90s wasn't... I see what you're saying in regards to the toxicity of a culture, especially relationship-wise, because the 90s damn near romanticized almost the fuck nigga, the playboy, the nigga who you know gonna break your heart and all that different type of shit. So I get it in that regard, but as far as the general era,
what I do like about the movie The Wood in the context of other black 90s films is that it's told primarily from the perspective of a man. We get other movies that's told from the perspective of men, but we don't see these men as like, they actually, outside of their, sexist, macho, like that could be dealt with. Education can fix that early. They weren't raised in the streets. They always raised by, we don't really see anything about their dads. Yeah. But I don't get absent father from it though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, how like certain people, it's like, oh, you could tell they daddy not in their lives. You don't get absent father from it, but we do see, all right, cool, they mamas were very present. So, and as they got older, it's not like, oh, they into a whole bunch of bad stuff. It don't show that none of them got any baby mamas.
On me.
It shows that they trying to get married. Right. So it's like, okay, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that for sure, because what we often saw in a lot of black 90s films was the portrayal of teenage pregnancy and multiple baby mamas and gang life and violence, and it was more than that. It was more than that. So I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. We already kind of talked about what we think they, the kinks are, but like, let's go into it a little more. I think, let's talk about, what's her name? Alicia.
Which one was Alicia?
Alicia was the one that got her booty grabbed.
Facts.
Yeah, like, so everybody loved Alicia. Very much girl next door. Yeah. Don't mess with me. I'm gonna get my brother gonna kick your ass.
Stacey.
Like, yeah. Stacey was interested too. We definitely gonna talk about Stacey because Stacey kind of got some action.
For sure. It was like a little...
Yeah, Stacey was, he kind of got some action. But Alicia, like, the only people that actually we know had sex in that movie is Mike and Alicia.
Facts.
We, we see them trying to have sex over and over again because they made that bet.
Yeah.
How do you feel about first of all, have you ever made a bet like that?
Let me not get on here and lie. I don't think so.
Because that literally, like, and again, they obviously just see, again, it goes into like that conquest mindset where it's like, all right, cool, this is like it's a game. What
I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, like, but it's like, it's a game. That's what it is. Like, you just doing it because it's like, all right, cool. Like, you treating women like y'all playing Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like, it's really, so... Yeah, how do you feel about that? Because betting, first of all, they bet on grabbing booties, bet on who was gonna get the booty first. Like,
again, it's that mindset and that mentality first and foremost, and that's not I feel like best way to show it, but going into that idea of conquest, understanding that women, however you choose to live your life and lifestyle, like, they're always the prize. And so I'm going to bet that you can, because think about it. If we fast forward a little bit, Mike damn near won. I got the pizza or whatever the bread that we betted, but then let them let them win it. You know what I'm saying? On some like, I damn near, it wasn't that to me because I really liked her. Really liked
you
know what I'm saying?
And like, really respected her and really valued her. So he didn't even, and I can appreciate that because imagine how the movie would have kind of like shifted gears if he did say, all right, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Like, and I think that in a space of a lot of men, for real, only know competitive nature. Like they own, like that's the first you got to think. Shorties as young boys, the first thing they trying to do is put you in a sport. And so if I'm programmed in a way that the only incentive for me to do something is to win it through, you know what I'm saying, competition, that's going to motivate me to do, even if I don't know what I'm doing. You feel me? Like, even because fast forward, get to the sex scene, folks looking at the condom, and I hate it. I resonated with that shit so bad.
I definitely go, yeah. Let's matter of fact, let's just jump to, again, the one sex scene in the movie where
1.5.
First of all, that sex scene lasted 60 seconds.
For sure.
This man gave her 5 pumps in a swirl. And she's like, so that's it, huh? Yeah. He was proud of his little 5 pumps.
Hey,
that was insane.
Hey, when you get that first one off, shorty.
Yeah.
You but it's fucked up because I feel like they make it seem like you're supposed to be different. You're not different. Like, because it's fucked up. My first time was very similar to that. Very similar. Except I was out here living. I was so anxious, didn't have no rubber, and I was just like, fuck it. And she was like, fuck it. And I was like, all right. Pull out game been strong ever since.
You funny as hell.
Understanding, like, for a young boy at that time, it's like, shit, the goal has just been for me to get this shit off outside of my hand. Fuck is you talking about? So you giving me this opportunity?
Yeah, I will say you can tell that Alicia didn't like. Of course, she liked Mike, but she didn't feel the need to like overly, like, all right. So let me kind of preface this with where I'm going. He talked about how like he was basically trying to have sex with his current girlfriend. She's in a relationship. They both in relationships.
Facts.
And she says maybe you just need to find somebody that wants it just as bad as you. So she was ready. She was ready. She had a boyfriend though, but like, what's going on? You really could have like had sex with your boyfriend, but you ain't want to do that because you like Mike. And you was like, all right, cool. Like, shit, Stacy ain't here. My mama gone. Like, that was insane.
Like, still one of Stacy condoms is nuts.
Yeah.
Stacy almost killed this little boy, beat the shit out this little boy. You want me to go in his room?
Yeah.
But for the pursuit of pussy.
The pursuit of pussy.
Niggas will do what they do. I'm going to show up and show out every time. Fuck is you talking about?
Showed up
under the bed.
That was hilarious. That was crazy. Have you ever been under the bed hiding from somebody?
Nah. Hell nah.
I ain't never been in no closet. I ain't never been hiding under no bed. I have snuck guys in and out my house.
Facts.
I have snuck guys in and out my house. I've never been sneaking in and out of anybody else's house though.
Yeah, nah.
So I can relate to the sneaking in and like, all right, cool. He was at her crib. So
facts.
I can relate to that. I can relate to, all right, cool. I want to do this. I'm finna do it. It don't have to be weird. Cause she wasn't weird about it.
She was not.
Yeah.
And even after she was dissatisfied, it was still kind of like they started talking about them.
Because she really liked them.
Yeah. And so I asked you, what role does that play in sex? Is niggas, I'm sure, that you done fucked or had sex with, and it was like, maybe this wasn't the best, but because or do you be like, nah, that sex wasn't good. I can't hack it.
So it actually,
oh damn,
it happened to me. So very similar situation.
Facts.
It's happened more than once. So I know for like more than once with two different guys, right?
Facts.
Very similar situation happened. 2 different guys. And this is how I know I really liked one and I didn't like the other. Right? So I'll give you just the cliff notes. One guy, whatever, We had been talking for a little minute. I came over, we smoked, we chilling, whatever. He started giving me head. I'm like, I don't really, like, I don't think it's...
The head wasn't hitting?
The head was cool.
Okay.
But then he gave me like 3 pumps and a swirl. And I was like... I was like, yeah, I'm finna go. And he like, no, wait, like, lay down. I'm like,
I got more for you.
I'm good. Like, I'm good. I was just good on it. Cause I feel like I didn't give myself enough time to know if I liked him or not. So I felt like we shouldn't have done it that soon, because if we had maybe waited and I realized that I did like you, the outcome would have been different. Yeah. But it wasn't. So it was what it was. Like, he was texting me the next day and I'm like, yeah, like, I'm responding on my time, which is like hours later. And he like, damn, you can't respond and say good morning. And I'm like, no.
So interjection question real quick. Ladies don't know? Like, y'all gotta know when y'all gonna give a nigga some pussy and when y'all not. Like, I feel like that's not, I swear to God, I feel like that's like a thing, no? Like,
sometimes.
Okay. You say it's not always the case.
No, I've definitely gave pussy to guys that, like, I gave pussy and I'm like, I never thought in a million years I'd be fucking you.
Huh. Okay.
I end up fucking a nigga for a year, not real, like, and look. Nice. One particular guy, and I tell him this all the time, I'm like, I would have never thought. Nice. And it got consistent. So no, nice. I do not, like when people be saying, oh, women be knowing in the first 15 minutes. No. Like, sometimes it take me a while.
On me, it is crazy. I ain't never had no coochie have to grow on me. I knew I was on that or not. No coochie grow on me. It's crazy. Nah, it's either that crazy. Or that. You want some popcorn? Yes.
That's crazy to me. Okay, so yeah, that particular situation happened, didn't like the guy. Now, this other guy, and I was drunk.
Damn, this do taste like movie popcorn.
It tastes like movie popcorn. It tastes just like movie popcorn. It's not. It's really good popcorn. Right. So, this other guy, so I gave him a massage. I low-key seduced him. Gave him a massage. I'm literally like, I'm doing very seductive shit. I'm saying very seductive shit, but I'm saying it in a way where it's like, you don't know what the fuck is going through my head. Like, I like being mysterious, right? So, and I got that bad. Like, I love that shit. Like, it's a superpower. Like, I'm like, ooh, he don't know.
Nah, he don't know.
Yeah, like, he doesn't know. And even more recently, he told me, because I told him, I was like, I like you. And he was like, I did not, like.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I like you. And he like, I never know with you, because I am the queen of mixed signals, right? So, long story short, give him a massage. Like I said, I seduced the man. I know I seduced this man. So I was in his head after the massage was over with. We talked for like another 30 minutes after the massage. He goes about his day, and he texts me. He doesn't go about his day, because he texts me within like an hour and says like, I can't stop thinking about you. Hey, all I did was give you a massage. But also, like, while I was talking to him, I'm making eye contact. I make eye contact. Yeah. People be, like, that's a cheat code, eye contact, right? So real strong eye contact, and I'm literally talking to this man about manipulation. And
manipulating him right in his face.
It'd be like in his face, right? Be like that. So that happens, and I goes out. I get drunk with my friend, and I text him, and I'm like, I accidentally got drunk. He texts back like, "You good? What's going on? Like, did you drive? You need anything?" I'm like, "No, my friend drove. I'm cool. I'm straight." But then as we continue to talk or whatever, I was like, I shouldn't be texting him. Shouldn't be texting you because I'm drunk and I know what type of time I'm on. So let me not. And I like, again, me being drunk and super honest. I'm an honest person anyways. But when I'm drunk and I'm intoxicated, I don't think twice about the thought. When I'm sober, I might think twice and still say it. But when I'm drunk, I don't think twice. So it's just coming straight out, right? So I tell him, like, I shouldn't be texting you while I'm drunk. And he, why? And I'm like, because I'm on demon time. Like, I'm on some other type of time. I just need to take my drunk ass home so I don't get into no trouble. And then he like, well, what's wrong with me seeing you on this type of time? I'm like, you gonna accidentally be in love with me. And he was like, or just in love. I'm like, okay, sir. Okay, sir. I like you. I like how you responding to what I'm saying. Like, I like shit like that, right? So, I tell him, like, yeah, me and my friend, we stopped to get something to eat. And I asked him, I said, so, I don't know. I was like, where you at? I just like, fuck it. Where you at? I'm at the crib. He dropped low. I'm like, my car parked at my friend's house. You stay 10 minutes from her. Come get me. Left my car at her house. And he came and got me. We goes to his crib. We chilling. We cuddling. And I'm like, all right, this a little slow for me. Because like I said what type of time I was on. This a little slow for me. We kissing. I'm like, we kissing too long. I throws him back, pull dick out. I'm finna get to it. Oh my God. Like, he's taking it back. And I'm normally not this aggressive. But I very specifically said, first of all, I was drinking. I don't drink light liquor. I don't. So I was very aggressive. People think being off dark gets you aggressive. I don't be aggressive off dark. I be aggressive off light. So I be like, I don't even drink this. But I've been drinking tequila shots. My hormones are raging out of control. I am emotional. And I am horny. I don't want to hear about no goddamn peas.
She's ready.
So, quick little The Best Man reference. But yeah, like we gassed to it or whatever. But again, I seduced him during the massage, so he couldn't last. Like he stopped me when I was giving him head, and he was like, "No, wait, let me go use the bathroom real quick." He thought that was gonna like send it back down. He like, okay, cool. I think that's gonna send it back down. Comes back in, he puts a condom on. He lasts like a minute, maybe two. And it don't help that, like, I think he has, like, a oralism kink. Because when I was moaning in his ear, he like, no, stop doing that.
It'll do that. Yeah.
And I got a cute little moan. So, I think that did it, too. And he's like, stop doing that. I'm finna come. I'm like, don't come yet. And he like, fuck. Yeah. So, like, that'll do it.
That'll do it for sure.
So.
You talk too much, bitch. Oh, man.
But. So he was like, so the next day he calls me on his lunch and he like, he said, that has never happened to me. He was like, you was already in my head from the massage. I was like,
shout out to the foreplay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Foreplay. I love foreplay. That is my jam. But also I'm super tantric. So even though I'm saying like, oh, this is going too slow, everything I did was super sensual and sexy. Yeah. So he's just like in the moment, he like, oh hell no, right? Because I'm making love to you. I know we just kind of met. Like we ain't been dealing with each other that long, but that's the first time that we had sex.
Right.
So it happens or whatever, and then I'm telling, like, after he's done, he like, fuck. And then we sit there and I'm like, oh, come here, give me a hug. And he like, don't hug me. Like, now he like, I feel like I'm taking an L because he's used to, you know what I'm saying, nailing shit. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's cool. That's like, it's fine. That's cute.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, that's cute. He stopped saying that shit. So he feels some type of way, right? But I'm like, but I like you. Like, I like you. So I continued to talk to him. The first guy I didn't continue to talk to. Him, I continued to talk, and then we ended up going out on another date, and then he fucked me like he fucked me like we was into it.
So I'm gonna ask that be that point to prove when the nigga got bitch, stop playing with me.
That we had a point to prove.
Okay, so check me out though. In that space of you actually liking him and that, you know, given, I guess, that second opportunity or space, like, how did that, what am I trying to say? How do you think the feelings toward you, like, what lets you know that you, in comparing the two situations, like, was it just the overall personality that the two different niggas had? Because at the end of the day, short sex is short sex, no matter who then gave it to you type shit. So like, was it the fact that you felt in control of the second situation in the space where it's like, if you set that play up, going from the whole,
that's what he said.
From the
I told you what type of time I was on.
Yeah.
I shot. You grabbed it.
But even before I told you, even before the drunk. Like you said, from the massage to the talking to the nigga about the art of manipulation.
Yeah, like I was getting in his head early because I knew I'm like, I see you as somebody I think I like. I see you as somebody I think I like.
Whereas the other nigga was more so like,
we figuring it out. Yeah, like okay. I like you seem cool. Let's figure it out. But this other particular guy, like we had kind of had back and forth banter for years. Like years, like this wasn't, you know what I'm saying, like for a couple years versus the other guy where it was like, all right, cool, like it's been a couple months, let's see what's going on type shit. So that's why I said, like, with this particular person, I damn near knew I liked them because we had been going back and forth, you know, like just on some like social media banter type stuff. I'm like, all right, cool, I like how you like say little shit. And then once we had our in-person interactions and the vibe matched up, and then we talking about like our outlooks on the world and ideologies and philosophies and shit like that. That's how you get me. That plays into sex. That's like, how you get me. I don't think a lot of men sometimes know that. You know what I'm saying? Like sex really starts way before you lay a chick down. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit, like you said, like you exhibited with dude, like that shit happened as soon as I opened my mouth. And so if it's that, you sense it off of me, as weird as that may sound. It's the chemistry too as well, because that's what it was. Like it was such amazing chemistry in that moment. And I was like, oh, this feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta pay attention to how you feel in the moment or whatever. And I'm like, nah, this feel good. Let me see if that continues. And it continued. It continued. So I definitely know that liking somebody and vibing with them, and then keep in mind, look, when they had sex, when Alicia and Mike had sex, that was their junior year. That's 4 years of foreplay damn near.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Because from the moment they met in 8th grade, now they juniors, you know, like they still study, they still got a good friendship, they still talking, like all of that stuff played into it. So I definitely think that she chose somebody that she felt safe with.
Ooh, I love your transition. Continue.
Yeah, she felt safe with him. And it's clear. So you don't have to feel like, oh, let this person jump through hoops. Facts. Because I feel safe here.
Facts.
When you have somebody jump through hoops, it's because you don't feel safe and you trying to put them to a test to see. Like that's like a safety test, like a measuring stick. It's
crazy that you saying this though. So she say, you ain't gonna make you jump through hoops, but you can't jump in no cooch without no protection. You feel me? Which made Mike go on the journey for the condom. You feel me?
Come on now. But at the look.
No. What I'm saying, and that's what I was about to say. Like you said, I think that was one of the reasons that you could appreciate Alicia's character. Because it was like, boy, you got me fucked up. Yeah, we finna do this, but we gonna do it in a way that I feel secure, because I do already feel safe with you. Yeah. But
also, it's not even about that. It's not even about that. It's about both us feeling safe, because she like, bro, we not finna be teenage parents. That's what we not finna do either. Because they didn't say that both of them are virgins, but it very much gave virgin. Because she like, is this supposed to look like that?
Oh, and he talking about,
I guess.
Dumbass little boy. Like, what's to you, dog?
Dumb as hell. But yeah, like, I don't know, like The Wolf was a really good movie, even though the whole movie was about sex with there only being 60 seconds, like a minute and a half of sex the whole time.
Fuck you talking about? If that.
Hold on, I'll talk about Stacy.
My boy Stacy. Folks was coming in on that aggressive. He was finna get him some. They came in, and I ain't gonna stunt.
That was gonna be nasty sex. Man. That was gonna be buck wild.
Raunchy. Fuck is you talking about? And you can tell upon entry in regards to kissing. I didn't even notice like a nigga under the bed. You feel me? And I guess you wouldn't, cause like,
who looks under the bed when they come home?
You know what I'm saying?
Who looks under the bed with like, let me check for monsters? It's a nigga idea.
Shorty ass showed people one of them condoms was gone. Fuck the mood right up. You had what she say? You had 3 condoms or you had 4 condoms
and one missing.
One missing. You feel me? You ever clocked a nigga like that, or you damn near don't even be fucking with condoms like that? I'ma just get to it. Fuck it. You know, because some people, I feel like in certain spaces when you fucking a consistent person, whatever, hey, you gonna do your thing.
You funny as hell. So, I've never counted condoms.
Facts.
That is my response.
I'm very politically correct. I feel it. I love that answer. Like you talking about. That's what's up. As you should.
I've never counted condoms. Oh man, I remember one time I had this ex. We had broke up, and I had some condoms, and he found them, and he was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I was like, "A condom, dumbass." Like,
you know what's crazy? And maybe it's just me. And I'm a safe nigga and ain't got no kids, all that different type of shit. Never been burnt, thank God. You feel me? Mm-hmm. It's something about a woman that got condoms that make me feel like, yeah, I'ma really do her. Cause like, bitch, you care about not only your health but mine as well. And you know that this dick is here for you too. Like in regards to, I feel like a lot of women will leave, nigga, you the one with the dick, bring the condom. Bitch, you got a coochie. There's coochie condoms out there. You better go get that plastic bag.
I've never used.
I've never used the coochie condom neither. But that's not the point. The point is they exist.
They do exist.
Don't just make this my responsibility in a space that this is supposed to be something for both of us.
I just had this conversation with my daughter. Because she's a preteen. She's getting into her teenage years. And she asked me, she's like, "Mommy, why do you have condoms?" Right. And I was like, "Because safe sex is important, baby." Yeah. And she's like, "But I thought the man is supposed to bring condoms." And I said, "Sweetheart, no. Anybody who wants to feel safe should have condoms." Yeah. And she was like, "Well, in the movies, they always make it seem like the boy is supposed to have a condom." And I said, that is why movies are bad information. And that is why you have a sex educator as a mom who's going to make sure that you know how to actually use one when you're ready, so that you don't have to rely on a boy understanding. Because what if he don't know what he's doing? Is it supposed to look like that? Right. You know what I'm saying? Right, exactly. But you know, I like the fact that I can have these types of conversations, because again, she's going to know that the best source of information for her to get what she needs in terms of accuracy is going to be me. And again, even watching this movie, damn, maybe it wasn't, Mike ain't had no daddy.
Facts.
Mike ain't had no daddy. He didn't know how to put on a condom. He ain't had no daddy.
No, my pops never showed me how to put on a condom. Like that was, it's crazy. I don't know that that's a thing for it. It's fucking, love don't cost a thing? That's just not real. Niggas' daddies is not taking them, "Hey, I'm gonna put this condom on this banana. I'm not wasting produce in this bitch."
Oh, my God.
Shorty, when you find yourself in that situation, figure it out. Figure it out.
Oh, my God.
And it works. In certain, I did have a sex class in high school. You know what I'm saying? They showed us a demonstration, all that different type. But like, that's just pretty. It's pretty self-explanatory.
I don't think it's hard, but I definitely be curious about the.
That was a pun, but continue.
Okay, yeah, I was hoping it was a pun. Yeah, but yeah, I do have every intention on making sure that I educate my children in a way that they understand and know what's going on. It was funny because this is how I know my daughter actually, like, she listens to me. Like, we was talking, she was telling me about, like, she was watching this movie about a shark that, like, had babies, but then the babies was impregnated too. So this is a species that doesn't need a male to procreate, basically. Okay. So, So she was basically explaining to her cousins, like, well, in humans, you need sperm to be able to fertilize the egg, and that is how pregnancy happens. And I'm like, oh, look at my baby. Yeah, because I'm like, this is important. This is what you need to understand this. It's not going anywhere. You're only getting older, and let's normalize these conversations now, that way you don't have any shame associated with it. And when you're ready, you can come talk to me, because if you live in a household where y'all afraid to talk about sex and it's super shameful, your children will never come to you with anything. You gonna be. That's why teenage pregnancy and STDs and all that shit be be at an all-time high because they live in very shameful households where they can't talk and ask questions and get right information. Because there's a lot of adults that don't even, y'all grown asses don't know how to talk about sex, so you definitely don't know how to talk about sex with your children.
Oh, that's a fact. And I feel like that's one thing that my OG did. Like, and it's crazy. My mom gave us the talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, more so than my pops. But I feel like that was just because of the household dynamic, how we all interacted and shit. And I think that was one of the things that, for me, condom sex, because everybody ain't got, I think boy Terry was talking about this a while. Everybody do not got condom coochie, which is very unfortunate. Yeah. You feel me? So it do kind of, it's best that you can get you a partner who y'all can do what y'all do and
safely.
You know what I'm saying? But in that space, I think for me it was always a health thing. Like, hey, bro, I ain't policing no pussy, but at the same time, just don't bring me no dirty cat. Right. You talking about, and I ain't gonna bring you no dirty dick.
Yeah, like, make sure you. So getting tested, of course, is important. I actually later today going to a HIV awareness influencer dinner.
Okay. Facts.
I'm super excited about that. That's later today. Maybe I'll stream at that event as well. Because Black women are disproportionately affected by this than any other group. So definitely, you know, as a sex educator, as a sexologist, a sex coach, someone who talks about sex, I want to do my part in the, you know, responsible education piece of the dialogue and of the conversation. So yeah. So I think we can both agree that the you know, the pieces of sex that we see, very realistic. The sexual tension that we see even when sex is not present amongst, you know, their younger years, because majority of this is a flashback. Super realistic. I feel like, and we talked about this before, having that person where it's like years ago you kind of like fucked around with them and then just still kind of having that love even though y'all went y'all separate ways or did whatever y'all did type shit. You could see that with Mike and Alicia as well. But yeah, I definitely think that, you know, and then there was a point where, like, you know, I feel like monogamy always comes up in these conversations and like, oh, this is the last person you're gonna have sex with forever. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't, like, for me, I was just thinking about this earlier because I'm like, am I willing to, like, not deal with any other guy sexually for the person that I'm starting to date now? And if the answer is yes, then I think that's when I'm, you know, that's what made me know I'm ready for a relationship.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. Like, if I'm like, I'm cool with only fucking you, that's cool with me. I've definitely run into guys where I'm like, I am not only fucking you. I am not. This is not it. This will not be a monogamous situation. It will not. But yeah.
My fault. I'm just pondering, thinking about, like, just that idea, like, because that's a whole nother off-camera discussion.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I think, yeah, so in terms of just the portrayal of real life situations that we've all either been in or very similar situations that we've been in, I definitely think The Wood it's a good portrayal. Yeah. It's a real good portrayal.
And I think age appropriate, because unfortunately we talk about, like, and so it makes you kind of question, like, what is, like, even with you listening to you talk about sexually educating your daughter, you know what I'm saying? Being at that preteen age, you never really, like, being an adult, 18 and up, 21 to drink and all that different type of shit. Like, I think that for the way that they depicted sex, like you said, thinking about it from a 30-year-old perspective, it's like, you know, you don't want to, but understanding that that is a reality.
Want butter cookie?
Yes, ma'am. Understanding that is a reality, and in that space, I think they did a good job of innocently portraying it. You know what I'm saying? Not making it, overly sexualized to the point where it's like, all right, this damn near.
I like how when they kept,
much.
yeah, I like how when they kept trying to like have sex with the girls, they like one of the girls like, "You're not putting that thing in me. That's nasty." That was hilarious to me.
Oh man.
Well, he over here trying. They over there trying to coerce. They wait until some young cat.
Very negative. Yeah. Very toxic.
Yeah.
But
a lot of guys get sex that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very unfortunate.
I've never had to say, and I don't. So
I definitely think it's important that, again, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. Even though I think it's rated R, I think it's okay for teenagers to watch this as long as there is a responsible, educated, sex educated adult there to kind of explain what's going on as well. Because sometimes watching something without the appropriate context will make you normalize and romanticize that shit as well. And that's not the goal. Yeah. That's not the goal. You shouldn't be like, oh, well, they did it in the movie. Like, because again, my daughter was like, well, I thought men are, no. Yeah. Right? So understanding how to contextualize that in the real world. Right. But, yeah, like I said, I think this is a good movie. I'm looking forward to the next episode because we're talking about Boomerang. For sure. This was dope. This was cool. Of course, I'm your girl. We didn't even introduce ourselves. We just got into it. I'm your girl, Jody, right? Oh, for sure. Jody Provocative. Provocative drops every Wednesday. So you can stream Provocative, PRHOEVOCATIVE, on all streaming platforms. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube. YouTube and Apple Podcasts both have the visual aspects of it. So you guys can definitely tune in wherever you listen to your podcast. And I am joined with my boy
Precious from Bonding with Boogie and a Precious Perspective. You can catch me at the Beverly Hills Art Gallery or at Precious Gods, PRECIOUSGODZ.
Yeah, and yeah, of course, I as a certified sexologist, I'm always taking sex coaching clients. I do kink education as well. So if you're interested in any of those services, you can follow me on Instagram and click the link in my bio. My Instagram is JODYPRHOE. Again, it's JODYPRHOE. If you follow me on Instagram, you basically have access to everything that's in the world of Jody, the provocative one. I have merch at provocative.com that you guys can check out. And yeah, that's all we got for this episode. Until next time.